It's game 82 of 82 as the Blackhawks are in Ottawa for their season finale. The three of us pregame the game next on the CHGO Blackhawks pregame show. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks pregame show presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use the code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. I'm Jay Zawoski. That's Greg Boyson. That's Mario Tirabassi. We are very cozy and very sweaty in this tiny little room. Sarah will be running for cover in about 4 minutes when it starts to get steamy and stinky in here.
I turned the fan on for you guys.
Thank you. But we're good for now.
We're all wearing
we're all mandoed up.
Yeah, we're all wearing our mando, head to toe, head to grundle.
That's right. Well, it's good to be here for game 82 as the Hawks are about to face the Senators. We're going to preview the game as we always do and talk a little bit about our feelings as the season comes to an end here. Before we get to any of that, do us a favor, hit that like button for us. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube page as well. Why don't we hear from Anders Sorensen right off the top, maybe his last pregame presser as Blackhawks head coach.
Just Corch coming in for Crevier, and then Spencer's in that.
Being the season finale, I guess, is there anything particular you're hoping to see in this last one?
Just a good follow-up effort and compete level from last night.
What I guess looking through yesterday's game, what stood out and reviewing it, or what did you build on?
Yeah, there's lots of positives. I thought we, offensively created a lot of zone time, and I think we were good off the rush. And again, tough building to play, and I think a lot of as a group we played really well. And again, I think the compete level was high on our end, so maintain that. And that's probably the biggest thing that stood out.
When the zone time is, I guess you guys are maintaining that, and there's passes connecting. What's working, or what's the difference there between, I guess, the one and outs, or just when you guys aren't doing that?
I think it's a little bit of patience, support, but I also think when our D are involved and lots of movement. I think at times when you get stationary, it's obviously easier to check. I thought our movement offensively was really, the guys off the puck moved well yesterday, which was key.
Some of the younger players, it seems like some have adapted quickly, others play like rookies, like we expected. Overall, has it been about what you expected, in terms of their progress, as the season closes?
I think some, yes and no. I mean, some guys have came in and played better than maybe expected, for sure. But, the ups and downs for sure with young guys, but again, mostly positive, and some guys I think is, beyond expectations a little bit.
How's it been handling some of the veterans who, haven't played in a while, playing in the finale?
Yeah, I mean, it's never easy, right? But they've been good. They're pros. They understand, and but at the same time, it stinks for them, and obviously, it's not something you want to tell a guy like that, but that's part of it. And yeah, it's been good.
From when you came in, how would you assess Connor's game and where it's gone, and where have you seen strides, and maybe areas where next step is for him?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, obviously, I think early on there he had got in a rhythm and played, and then maybe a little dip as the whole group did, not just him, and, maybe his production fell off a little bit, but he still, I think, did a lot of positive things in terms of defensively, his positioning. I don't think it's ever going to be perfect, but I thought he took some strides there. Face-off's gotten a lot better, and I think he's one of those guys that would talk about patience with the puck. It seems like he's hanging on to more pucks now and doing more things that way and not forcing things as much. So I think overall the growth has been good for him.
It seems like on the power play that just him and the group maybe figured some things out, or just how to utilize him, or just him utilize the whole group too.
Yeah, it's been better. Yeah, they've been moving around much quicker, and I think adding Frank in that bumper as a right shot helps. And then I thought Sam has come in and done a good job up top there, and yeah, so there's different reasons for it, but that's one part of it too.
As the season has progressed with him, have you seen like more or less confidence with him, more engagement?
With Connor?
Connor, yeah.
No, he's the same. He just plays. I think that's his strength, right? He's got a belief, and he knows what he's a really, really good player, and he believes that, and we believe that, and I don't see anything.
For you, what do you plan to do after the season, like immediately after?
Immediately after? Well, we got some meetings, exit meetings, and then I think it's Easter weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to enjoy that with the family, and then, go from there.
There he is, Anders Sorensen, one last time.
Most likely.
One last time.
No,
All right.
he's got a post-game press conference.
That's
for it,
true.
so-
That's true. That's true. All right, let's take a look at the lines so we can break down this very exhilarating and important game. You've got Bedard centering Donato and Mikheyev, Nazar, Teravainen, and Bertuzzi, Greene, Foligno, and more, Veleno, Slacker, and Reichel, Vlasic, Rinzel, Murphy, Korchinski, Kaiser, Levchinov, and Knight in goal. So the changes from last night, Korchinski in, Knight in. Cool. I'm here for it. Give me the youthful roster.
Crevier out.
Crevier.
Louis Crevier.
Yes.
I mean, it's. I would say last night this group worked. You saw a lot of positive from Frank Nazar and how he worked with his line. I think Ryan Greene had a decent game, so keep him in that spot. And, you get Korchinski back in one more NHL game before he and Levchinov likely both of them going back to Rockford for the postseason run. So good for him. Like, all of these guys, it's like their last, I'm going to say audition, but pretty much last audition leading into the offseason for training camp, preseason, and next year, where there's going to be a lot of competition, a lot of roster spots up for grabs.
Yeah, for sure. This is their last chance to show the front office and the coaching staff. Well, I don't know if it matters what you show the coaching staff without.
Jimmy Wade.
The front office to be like, hey,
Show Jimmy Wade what you got.
I can play at this level. Like, leave a good last impression heading into the offseason. So when you show up day one of training camp in September, that, you're considered. You're, okay, this is your spot to lose, or you're one of three guys battling for these two spots because of how well you played last year. That always doesn't translate. We saw it this year. We were all excited about Frank Nazar, and then when he got to training camp in preseason, it was kind of, ooh, that's not the same guy we're seeing now. So sometimes that pressure will get to a young player, but I just really enjoyed these last few weeks with this youth movement and watching these guys starting to figure out how to close out hockey games and win hockey games. It's been a lot of fun. So win tonight, carry it into the off season, and September, get here quickly, please.
Yeah, I'm ready. It's so tough to have the 82nd game come after maybe the most fun and rewarding game of the year, and a really encouraging stretch to end things. As you mentioned, Greg, like all these young guys showing up in different ways. Some guys more impressive than others. I think Nazar and Rinzel. I would even throw Levchinov into the pile of guys that are really jumping off and showing like, wow, there is something here with these guys for sure. Some other guys, there's been ups, there's been downs, but I think as a whole, I think even if you went player for player, you would say more positive than negative. I don't think any of these young guys that have gotten a look here since the trade deadline, none of them have had me change my mind on them to think they're, well, maybe, they're not quite what we thought, or maybe they're not going to achieve what we hope they might. I am as optimistic or more optimistic about every single one of them.
Yeah, I mean it's small sample sizes for them, but they've been really good in those small sizes. So yeah, I mean I would say everything is trending in the right direction as far as what you'd hope to see from these guys in their first tastes of the NHL, and it just leads into next season with a lot of optimism for me.
Yeah, there's nothing but optimism to have at this point, because you could either look at this negatively and say, oh, rebuilds take forever and sometimes they don't work and, who knows. But right now, I think the rebuild is going in the right direction. Things are going well, and you're about to add at this draft, assuming you make your top 4 pick, which you're guaranteed at this point.
Will.
You assume you're going to make that pick. You're going to add another, and whoever that player is your automatic top prospect. So, and another first round pick later, if you make that pick, like it's going to keep reloading and keep getting better and better. So I don't know. I'm just encouraged. I think that just based on recent post games and the tone of the chat and being in our Diehards Only Discord, a lot of positivity going around the fan base right now. Like Mario, last night, I think we had our biggest post game show of the year. 600 people watching after game 81.
Over 600.
Oh, thank you. 600 plus. On a night where, it was a relatively meaningless win in game 81. Like, that's great. This fan base is ready.
Yeah.
And I think, and I hope that the Blackhawks are picking up on that and give them reason this summer to get really, really excited.
For sure. And I think the feel at game 82 this year is so much better than the feel at game 82 last year. Because last year was, man, that was rough. You went through that stretch in January where everybody was hurt, and you're picking up table scraps from other teams' AHL rosters, and you were just glad the season was over. This year, kind of like, damn, why does it have to end now? It's just getting good.
Yes.
It's just getting good. We've waited all year for this to happen. Now it's starting to be entertaining. The guys who matter are here and they're playing well. Why does it have to end? So there's definitely some excitement. There's some buzz after what for 65 games, 70 games was another disastrous season. When you just talk about the raised expectations never met. They're going to finish with more points than last year, but you're still the second worst team in the league.
Yeah.
That was not supposed to be acceptable anymore. And it cost Luke Richardson his job. You had a coaching change. The coaching change didn't exactly do what you wanted to do. You had the whole Seth Jones, in the media, getting traded, all that stuff, trading Taylor Hall. And then all of a sudden you get to the end, just think back about how this fan base felt after the Winter Classic. It was rock bottom.
Oh, my God.
They embarrassed themselves on a national stage. They were getting ripped left and right nationally and deserved it. And then all of a sudden, you trade Taylor Hall, and that opens up a spot for a young guy. And then Seth Jones is gone, and that seemed to have worked wonders for many different reasons, not only on the ice, but in the fan base. You get your Spencer Knight, that energizes people. Frank Nazar has been incredible. He's been the best player on this team for a month now. Sam Renzel gets here, and he's better than advertised. You've got Levshunov gets the call up. He's been really good. You see the raw talent there. So there's excitement for the first time since I don't think this fan base has been this excited about this team since they won the draft lottery that got them Connor Bedard.
I think that's accurate. We're going to continue this conversation, but we want to tell you about our ongoing sale to become a diehard at allchgo.com. $36 for the year, celebrating the CHGO Bears Draft Day Live coming up. Again, $36 for the entire year. And yes, indeed, you still get your free t-shirt. You still get your 20% off merch, events like our golf outings, our takeovers, everything that we're doing. It's a great deal. Take advantage of it right now. And if you're a diehard and you're in our Discord, the link to our NHL Bracket Challenge is in there. You need a password to join it. That password is in the Discord. So jump on that members-only Discord to get that information. If you don't have Discord and you want to get in touch and get in the game, reach out to one of the three of us and we'll get you in there. You just got to prove to us you're a diehard somehow. But we'd love to have you as part of our bracket challenge.
Prove your diehardness.
Yeah. So last year, fellas, Thursday, coming Thursday, they're going to do their end of season, post-mortem, team meetings, player meetings, exit interviews, all that stuff. We're going to get to talk to a select number of Hawks, Kyle Davidson, Andrew Sorensen. I'm expecting that the vibe Thursday is going to be much different than it was last year. And I have to say, as bad as last year was, I was sort of caught off guard by how negative everything felt that last day.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys felt as surprised by Seth Jones down in the dumps. Tyler Johnson had a foot out the door
Well, he was the first guy. Too.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it set the
that
tone
did
for
set
the
the
team.
Tyler
yes,
Johnson
100%.
had his plane ticket in hand.
He had his
Yeah.
nose zinced up, ready for the beach.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like, screw you guys.
I thought it was weird that he had like a unicorn floaty on, but
Pull the curtain. And, screw you guys. I'm going home.
yeah, I don't know. I'm expecting a different feeling this Thursday.
I definitely last year definitely was caught off guard by the tone of it, and not that I was caught off guard that the guys were like upset because of it was a long season, it was a losing season, and all that, but the fact that it was just so many guys kind of came into that with the mentality of like, we did not expect it to be this bad, and we cannot stand this any longer, and it was just like, well, we knew it was going to be a rebuild, we knew it was going to be a difficult season.
Was Tyler Johnson the Seth Jones Fleury summer? Was he
Yes.
part? So yeah,
It was
so
Johnson,
He came in
Fleury,
yeah.
Jones, McCabe were all in that same.
So
and-
yeah,
and
he came
Caleb
in at
Jones
the
as
same
well.
expectations as
Yeah.
Jones and everybody else did. So
Yeah, his attitude, I feel like, was less about like, hey, I don't like losing. It was more just like, it just felt like he was kind of like, I didn't like how I was used here, and
He was used here better than he was used by Boston. this
yeah,
year.
right, exactly.
Like, what playoff team is he currently playing for right now?
I don't think there is one.
There isn't one.
I feel like I think the tone will be different because I think the way that this season is ending is much more positive. I feel like you're going to hear from a lot. We're going to hear from a lot of the young guys, I assume, and they've had good seasons. Like we were saying before, like there hasn't really been any prospect that has come up and had like extended time here that you're just like, oof, like that's been rough. Like there's been a lot of trending in the right direction, and I feel like we'll probably get a good vibe from the guys, and I'm sure it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows because they still finished second to last, and Kyle Davidson said this time last year that won't be acceptable, and it'll be interesting to hear how he views it and how this season has gone and expectations for the offseason. But yeah, I would think there's going to be a bit of a different air when we talk on Thursday.
Yeah, I wonder if Kyle Davidson has learned the lesson of not saying anything's unacceptable again, because that little comment stuck all summer, all year,
season.
all season, and it was like, well, and if you want to light your own seat on fire, that's a way to do it.
Yeah, he raised the bar and then fell way short of that bar. So lesson learned, hopefully.
You know what's funny is like, and we can maybe expand on this in the post game, but like,
wait, we have a game to break down.
I know.
All right, after those 6 minutes are done.
When you look at like the contributions of the majority of like the free agent class, they're kind of like on par with what you'd expect. So it's kind of just, it's funny how it like, you look at like, oh, he swung and missed on the free agent class, but also like Pat Maroon did what he was supposed to. Craig Smith did what he was supposed to. Alec Martinez did. Bertuzzi, Teravainen, like they all kind of did what they were supposed to.
Bertuzzi and Teravainen hit the back of the
work.
They pretty much hit the back of their hockey card.
Yeah.
Well,
They
it's
average years, but unfortunately, like it got off to such a bad start.
Yeah.
Norm McIver called it, and we were all like, wow, that's kind of a negative attitude, because we had done our previews, and he said, episode 1 of every shift, where are the goals going to come from?
Yeah.
And he was totally right. He was totally right about the opening roster and that roster's inability to score, because we're like, well, Taylor Hall's a former MVP, so like maybe get 20 from Taylor Hall, and Tavo on the top line with Bedard, which almost never happened. Maybe he gets 30 this year, and like you're kind of trying to piece these puzzle pieces together, but all of it was kind of best case scenario.
Well, yeah, the problem was it was a patchwork roster, and as I've said a lot, there's a difference between filling out a roster and building a team.
Yeah.
This last summer was filling out a roster, because when you look at how the Hawks are playing now and how Kyle Davidson has built this team based on his last handful of drafts, and we're seeing it with the kids that are coming up and playing, he wants to be the fastest team in the NHL. Well, Tyler Bertuzzi does not fit that at all. Tavo Teravainen is okay. He could hold his own, but so it was more of like, hey, I want to get guys in here that are established players, that have names, that have track records. But like going forward, Tyler Bertuzzi does not fit on this team. So he's going to have to do a little moving around the chairs here, because now he's in team building mode. He's getting the guys that he drafted to make part of this future here, and they're playing and they're going to stay here. Now it's like, what do I do with these patchwork placeholders that I signed for too many years?
Yeah. I mean, I do think that Bertuzzi becomes, I mean, look, you got 23 goals out of him. And I think if you're a team that has the puck more, he's a lot more effective as a guy who can just go in front of the net and do that thing he does, that one thing he does. And that's fine. If he's going to be a power play specialist and a third line winger, you could do a lot worse on your third line.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But there's also, this is why I hated that contract the day it was signed, the 4th year. Like, you could get that from hundreds of guys out there.
Sure. But I think you can.
For less money.
He has enough of a track record and a reputation based on his last name where he can, I think with a year left on that deal, you can trade that and you're not going to ask for a ton back. You're basically just asking someone to take the money on. And we're talking 2 years from now, the cap's going to be up and up and up.
I mean,
4.5. What is it, 4.5?
Yeah, I'm not worried about his cap hit. That's got nothing. I'm just like, I don't know if he's going to be taking a spot from someone who deserves it more. Maybe not. Maybe he.
I don't think next year.
Not next year,
Not
but
next year.
But you know, going forward, I just think that last year was too much. But that's what he had to do to get him to play here. I get it. So you know, we'll see how it happens. He's pretty much been what I expected. You know, a guy that for like 2 weeks of a month, you're like, hey, this guy's pretty good. And 2 weeks of the month, you're like, he played last night?
Yeah,
I don't even remember seeing
it.
it.
It is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But after 82, it shakes out exactly how
what you thought you were going to get from him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like with Teuvo too. It was like the first 30 games of the year, he had like 13 points.
Yeah, it was.
And then he's had like 50 since then. Like it's better, not 50, 40 some since then. So I mean, it's just been kind of the tale of you know 2 different milestones of the season.
But if you're going to add, and let's, you know, we can all dream about Mitch Marner signing here, whatever the odds of that are, fine. But if you're going to add 2 higher level free agents, like let's say they get Ehlers and Besser, right?
I don't know. Ehlers' foot fell off. I don't know
Which
if
is
you want him.
Because of the ref.
Yeah. Stupid refs.
That just pushes everyone down a little bit. And by pushing everyone down, you're also putting better players in roles where they're going to get more favorable matchups. Mm-hmm. So instead of Teuvo and Bertuzzi and maybe Donato, whoever it might be, going up against the team's second best checking line, or maybe the best checking line, it's the second best or the third best, and everyone gets to, if everyone's slotted correctly, everything's going to work out better for everybody.
Well, yeah,
that's why it's so important to get some top 6 help.
You get the bum sleigh playing third and fourth lines. I mean, guys on the cup teams did thrived on that.
All right, we got some super chats we got to get to, including our buddy Steven, who just gave us a $500 super chat. Steven, if that's a typo, tough shit. He says, guys,
too late.
Great season covering this team.
Thanks,
It's been a
Steven.
real treat getting to know you all over the years. Thursday starts the silly season. Yeah, Steven, it was awesome hanging out with Steven during our last takeover. Him and I sat next to each other the entire game. Awesome company, awesome dude. He is here every game, every night.
If he sat next to you for a whole game and still tunes into the show,
No.
we should be giving him $500.
Right. Shh, quiet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Steven. We love you for that. And hey, as a to shout out Steven, how about hit that like button? Get us over 100. We're at 86 right now. And now Brad, who's $50.
Measly $50.
Thank you so much, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Brad with $50 says, last game, let's go, kids. We need 3 of you back together full time. Thanks, boys, for a great season.
Brad,
we all would love that to happen.
Brad, if you would pony up like Steven did, then maybe we would get back to the 3 of us full time.
Yeah. Well, thank you all very much for the super chats.
Thank you
and
so much.
That's a great gesture, Steven and Brad. We really appreciate that. I got distracted by Steven. Where were we? What were we talking about? Hockey or something?
Bertuzzi,
yes. Yeah. I think that's not a problem you have to solve this summer.
No, I don't think so.
You don't have to solve it this summer, but hey, if
the conversations about like buying him out are way, way too premature.
No, I wouldn't do that because I mean, for the money you're going to pay for the buyout, you might as well just have him here scoring 23 goals.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's not like he's making $9 million a year. I just don't like that third and fourth year, but we'll see. We'll see where we are.
If you can trade Seth Jones.
No, everybody's tradable. No, there's no doubt. If you could trade Peter Mrazek.
Yeah. And get an asset back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For Peter Mrazek, who went to Detroit and looked pretty good and then got hurt. Weird. Oh, no, Detroit. Hey, you know what? Maybe year 9 of the Yzer plan will be the one where they finally get it done.
But he played the game, Greg.
It's fine.
He automatically knows
listen,
what he's doing.
Listen, I hope Steve Yzerman is the general manager of the Detroit Red Wings forever.
Yes.
I think he's done a hell of a job.
hell of a job.
I
Super
approve
well.
of everything he's done. Keep it up, Steve.
The Detroit Mid-Wings.
Gone super well.
Yeah.
Do you remember the number that we crunched when Norm McIver was asking where the goals come from?
I don't.
It was 215.
Okay. Where are we at?
They have scored 220 goals this season with 1 game to go. So take that, Norm.
Hey,
That's where the goals are
That's
coming
Frank
from.
Nazar.
because I guarantee you, if we go back and watch that episode of the numbers, none of us sat here and said 31 goals
No,
for Ryan Donato.
I think we said 10.
Mark it down. Yeah, 10 to 15 goals
Yeah.
tops.
And I think that was also saying like Bedard would have like 40. So
Yeah, so
Give or take.
yeah.
so it evened out.
the math evens out.
50
at the
between the
end
two of them. We were right.
All right, well, we're heading into 82 games. We got a few minutes left to do this. How are you guys feeling? I don't care how bad the season goes. I don't care what the record is. I hate the last game of the year because I just love watching hockey no matter how bad it is. I love being at the United Center. I love watching the Hawks. And game 82 is always bittersweet for me. It kind of sucks. I'm not looking forward to the long off season. I'm looking forward to what's coming this off season.
Mm-hmm.
But the next few weeks will be a grind. We at least get to watch some playoffs. But get me to free agency, get me to draft, and then just cryogenically freeze me until the puck drops next year, please.
Game 82 is no fun if there's not a best of 7 after it.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, I mean, it's coming to the end of the season. It's two-sided for me because it's just like I love what we do. I love being able to talk about the games, go to practices, talk to players, talk to the fans, and interact with everybody surrounding games and tangible things to talk about. And in the off season, it's a lot of waiting to see what happens and what if scenarios and all that. And then on the other side of it, it's a regular schedule. It's not long nights.
That's true.
All that stuff. So there's two sides of it to me. So it's a little bittersweet because it's the end of the most fun part of the job, but also the start of gives you a little breathing room part of the job.
Yeah, I mean, most ends of the season, I'm kind of like, all right, I'm looking forward to something different. This year has been a trying season for me, to say the least. It's been very weird, and the off season has a lot of uncertainty. Not quite sure where things are gonna end up, so I kind of don't want this particular setup I've got going on to end. But we'll take it a day at a time, and as I said earlier, it sucks that it ends right when it's getting good. It's like, it reminds me. You guys ever seen that movie Unbreakable?
I've never seen that movie.
Don't.
No.
It's a terrible movie.
That's why I haven't seen it. I keep hearing how bad it is.
But it's a movie where you sit around for 2.5 hours waiting for something to happen, and something finally happens, and it just ends. And this is kind of what this season has been.
That's aggravating.
So yeah, don't ever see the movie Unbreakable. Awful. But
I got bullied for not seeing Along Comes Polly or Along Came Polly.
I only questioned you. Why haven't you seen it?
I don't know.
'Cause that's your kind of movie.
I know it's just falling between the cracks.
All right,
but
well,
I've seen the
that's
rain
your-
dance scene several times.
This is
which
your
is a fun movie.
This is your off season assignment. Is
I've
to
got
watch
a
along.
massive list of movies to watch, and Along Came Polly was in there before yesterday. So,
right.
but I'll just get stuck watching
It's
Gangs in
up
New
your-
York for the 300th time.
It's up. It's up your alley. You will enjoy it.
Yes.
I don't think it's a very dated movie at this point.
Sarah, how you feeling? Game 82. You gonna miss us?
Yes. No, that was
No, she's got
I'm
150 Cubs games.
Yeah.
I was gonna
focus on.
say I'm excited to have my focuses on baseball again, but I am sad because I do love this show and I do enjoy watching hockey. But I'm excited to not be working on both Hawks and baseball at the same time. So mine's more of a professional opinion.
I like watching the game with you because you're such a new hockey fan
I know. Yeah.
that I love to see you get frustrated, and it's like, see, she gets it. Sarah gets it.
I want the Hawks to be good.
We all do.
Yeah, and I like the young team a lot. I'm excited.
Yeah, there's a lot to be excited about, and next year should be a lot of fun. But hey, we got one more game to go and a whole off season. to cover as well. And it's going to be a very busy offseason. So we're going to let you go for now. We'll be back for the post-game show. If you have not hit the like button yet, please do so. And get those $500 super chats ready for the post-game show.
Yeah.
Steven, not you. You're off the hook.
You set the bar.
Until at least next preseason. And don't forget, take advantage of our Die Hard sale happening right now at allchgo.com. $36 for the year. That is an outstanding deal. It will not probably get cheaper than that. So we'll talk to you as soon as the Hawks and Senators wrap up right here on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast presented by Bet365.
We all silly like the mayor.